Did you happen to see the large trailer outside of your school with all the cool pictures? Well, you're in for a wonderful educational treat brought to you by the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, the Kentucky Agricultural Development Fund, Kentucky Agriculture and Environment in the Classroom, and Kentucky's Farmers and Agricultural Businesses. Today, you will be entering the Mobile Science Activity Center to complete an agri-science activity selected by your teacher. This activity will be related to agriculture, which is the science of producing crops and raising livestock for food and renewable resources we use every day. Before you enter the Mobile Science Activity Center, however, we want you to observe a few rules so everyone will have an effective but fun learning experience. Please take care while we are entering the center and slowly walk to an iPad station in the groups your teacher has assigned. Once you reach your station, please wait for instructions before you touch the iPad or any other item sitting in front of you. You should face away from your station with your hands at your sides and wait for instruction. Always listen to the Kentucky Department of Agriculture facilitator and only complete the tasks as instructed. Do not move ahead even if you have done this activity before. When using the iPad, lightly touch the screen when prompted. Never tap, hit, or push the screen with force. And please make sure your hands are clean. If the iPad isn't working properly, please raise your hand and make the instructor aware. Try to keep your station as neat as possible. Avoid spills and no horseplay. When pouring or measuring, be sure to do it facing your station and not over the floor. If you do spill something, please raise your hand and the instructor will help you. Should you have any questions once you are in the trailer, always raise your hand and wait to be called upon. And please, keep commentary to a minimum to try and keep the activity moving along. Once the activity is over, please exit the center carefully and be sure to thank your facilitator, your teacher, and any other volunteers that helped out. You may also want to find out who paid for your educational experience and write them a thank you note. Now that you've heard the rules, we want to show you a few more things that you will be learning today. Your teacher has selected an activity that will help you understand why soil erosion takes place and why it is important to take steps to conserve our soil. Soil is an important natural resource for agriculture and food production. Soil holds water and nutrients that plants need to grow. It also filters our water and protects our natural environment. Let's listen to John Bonacci, a beef cattle farmer in Oldham County, about why protecting the soil and water are important. He was recognized as a leading conservationist in the Commonwealth.
I moved to Kentucky in 1980 from Vermont and had very little farming background. My uncle had a dairy farm there that I helped out on weekends, did a little bit of haying and showed a few cows in the county fair, but started Sherwood Acres back in 2002 and 2003 by purchasing this land. It was all grown over and really didn't have anything at all, so it was like a blank slate. For Father's Day in 2003, my wife and two kids bought me 3 belted Galloways. The local food movement was growing quickly, and so we started marketing beef through farmers markets mainly. We're in several restaurants. We're in a chain of some stores in metropolitan Louisville. And we also have our own retail store called the world's smallest beef shop. When we came here, there really was nothing. We had to do some clearing, built fence, and most of that knowledge I gained through cooperative extension and the Master Cattlemen's program, how to lay out pastures, herd health, how to work on forages. And I learned early on that you have to be a forage or a grass farmer first before you can be a beef farmer, because if you don't have the grass, you can't feed your animals. Being on Harrods Creek, which is a water source for Louisville, it was important for us to make sure that that water stayed clean and that we were not a contributor to any erosion or any animal waste to go into that creek. To do that, we've put in what's called a riparian buffer, which is a tree planting along the creek to stabilize the banks. We've planted grasses along the creek as well so that we don't have any dirt exposed, if you will, so there's no erosion into the creek. We also cross the creek because we have land on the other side and take our cattle over there usually in the summer, and we constructed what's called a shallow stream crossing to the standards that NRCS suggests, which is Natural Resources and Conservation Service. That gave us the plans to be able to build this so that we were not tearing up the creek and we were crossing it in a manner that it's supposed to be done. We've done many different practices, conservation practices over the years, and fortunately have been rewarded for that, not only through the cost share program, which helps you financially build some of these projects, but also with awards. In 2011 we were the state Master Conservationist, prior to that the County Master Conservationist. In 2013 we were selected as the Leopold Award winner for the state of Kentucky, its first ever. And that's a great honor because Leopold represented conservation and the environment really at its best. And then last year we were selected by the National Cattlemen's Beef Association as the environmental steward for Region 1, which is a 17-state region starting here in Kentucky and going all the way back to my home state, Vermont. So had an opportunity to go to Denver and San Antonio with that group. Met a lot of great people who share a similar love and passion for the land.
We sure do hope that you enjoy your experience today. We also hope you're encouraged to consider all of the careers and jobs necessary to provide safe, quality food and renewable resources to our communities, country, and world. The population is growing, and sound agriculture will remain the most important pursuit on our planet.